Canada's top military commander has ordered an internal investigation into a deeply troubling secret in the forces, the prevalence of sexual assault. A Quebec magazine exposed the scale of the problem, and as Vassy Kapelos reports, once it was made public, the top brass was quick to act.
It's a stunning statistic. Every day, 5 people in the Canadian military are sexually assaulted. That's according to an investigation by Maclean's and its sister magazine, L'Actualité.
For a lot of these women, the consequences, the psychological consequences were so deep that they eventually lose their jobs.
The Minister of Defense issued a surprisingly swift response to the investigation, saying he was deeply angered to learn of these alleged sexual assaults in the military, adding sexual misconduct of all kinds will not be tolerated within the Canadian Armed Forces. He called on the Chief of Defense Staff to get to the bottom of it and conduct a review.
So we're looking to ourselves to find out where things might be, where there might be room for improvement.
Major Brian Fry helms the investigations into the most serious of crimes for the military police. He acknowledges there's an average of more than 170 sexual assault complaints a year, but says those complaints don't all involve military personnel. They also come from civilians who allege an assault took place on military property.
The Canadian Forces National Investigation Service that I represent will conduct an investigation into any complaint that's brought forward to us in a thorough, professional, and independent from the chain of command.
Not good enough, say critics. The article's authors and opposition MPs say the fact the military investigates its own needs to be scrutinized more closely. And in that vein, NDP defense critic Jack Harris says he'll file a motion in the hopes of compelling the Minister of Defense and Chief of Defense Staff to testify before committee.
You can't blame it on culture. It has to be responsibility of the military hierarchy, of the chain of command, of the government.
And though the government and the military say they accept that responsibility, clearly not everyone is convinced. Vassy Kapelos, Global News, Ottawa.